I've been saving this part for the very end. This is the final part of my painting of Gloria White. If you don't know, last Halloween her son broke into her home and murdered her. Gloria's daughter, Allison White, first reached out to me to make this painting shortly after everything happened. And the way that it was proposed to me was as a collaboration, me as the artist and Allison as a poet. I've been lucky enough to have some access to Allison's poetry throughout this process. Some was written before Halloween, some was immediately after. I've saved a spot at the bottom of this painting specifically for Allison, and I told them to write something so that I could carve it into the bottom of the painting, almost like the inscription of a monument. And above that, I wrote all three of their names with their birthday, and in Gloria's case, her date of death, like a family gravesite. Here is what Allison wrote. "We could have been saved if the systems were prepared. We could have been happy. But instead, we're bound up in oil, not knowing how flammable the veins have become. As one match ripples into light, everything is lost. And now the echoing marks of little fires must suffice." To give you some insight into the symbolism here, Aiden's name translates to little fire, and of her children, the only name that Gloria picked was Aiden. Fire has become a major visual motif in this painting as well, because the more that the image develops, the more a flame it began to look, even without my effort. One thing that we had been struggling with for the whole painting was landing on a title. I'd been calling this painting Gloria White since I started working on it, but Gloria didn't really like her name. She would probably feel quite odd about being painted like this, actually. The deadline was coming up, but once we had the poetry written, we finally landed on the title. She named him Little Fire. I don't really paint in a way that's tedious or meditative anymore, but doing all of this lettering was definitely tedious and meditative. It forced me to really sit and reflect on this whole process. So it was really difficult and heavy, but I think it was an important release. Come back tomorrow to see the whole painting.